You're listening to Supervision with a Vision, where we discuss all things supervision. I'm your host, Sarah, professional counselor, marriage and family therapist, play therapist, eating disorder specialist, and cookie lover, with my co-host, Heather, marriage and family therapist, certified Together in Texas counselor, a Texas transplant from California, and outdoor adventurer. Hi, welcome to Supervision with a Vision. Today, Heather and I are talking about the pumpkin spice phenomenon. This week, we read Psychology Today, The Pumpkin Spice Phenomenon, published 2023. And Heather and I are in Texas, and we have just had a summer that, about 100, 110 was pretty
common for a while.
Yeah. I wonder how, usually they report that to us and tell us how many days over 100 we've had, but I bet it was a lot this year.
It was a lot this year, and I think we broke all sorts of records. I just don't remember exactly what they were.
Well, this week is the very first week that we feel like we are in fall. We're now having a breezy, cool 80-degree day, so we feel like we are well into the fall season.
Right.
And so we're talking about pumpkin spice.
Right.
So the first point in the article is that we all gravitate towards things that we like. So, pumpkin, cinnamon, sugar, spice, those are things that we like. And so we're kind of like drawn to them. In counseling and supervision, how does that work? How do you see that happening? That certain things people are drawn to, they just like that.
I think that I have a certain population that's drawn to in person, right? We were virtual for so long. They're drawn, and they come in, well, not so much anymore, but like last year at this time, they would come in and they'd be like, oh, it's so good to see you in person, even though they saw me on video for however long. But there's that phenomenon kind of there, like in-person therapy.
Or vice versa.
Right.
That there are people who really are connected to online. And if you tried to get them to be in person,
they wouldn't want
they're not interested. Right. What about, I don't know, just things that people think go with therapy, like sitting on the couch, or maybe a teenager comes in and goes, oh, where's all your stress balls?
Right. What happened to the fidget basket? Yeah. Oh, there's a new one. It's over here. You know.
So certain things that they're they gravitate towards. What about supervisees?
I have one supervisee, and I'm sure she won't mind me sharing this. I have a blanket that's on the back of my couch, more for color than anything else. It's not a very good blanket, but she loves it. She comes in, and if I've moved it, she's like, where's your blanket?
Oh, where'd it go?
She sits down, and she puts my air conditioning is very strong in my office, and she always sets it over her legs, regardless of whether she's in pants or not. Yeah. She just has to have it like over her lap.
Yeah. But it feels routine. Like then she's ready.
Right. Now I'm ready for supervision. Yeah. Let's begin.
That makes me think, it's been a long time ago now. I had a client that would do that with my pillows on the couch.
Oh, like a certain pillow is a certain.
Yeah. Like, but I need the pillow.
Right.
And she would just want to hug on it or put it on her lap or something. I mean, just to have it.
I think this happens with kids too. Like certain puppets I have, they really have to make sure they have when they come in.
This is fun. This has also been a long time ago now, but in my play stuff, I have like a chest with dress up clothes. And some of the items are, I have 2 old cell phones.
Oh, yeah.
And so funny because one is this, they're old. One is a BlackBerry.
Yes. Love it.
And one is a flip phone that predates that BlackBerry.
Right.
So really
old flip
phone. And this kid, he was probably 5.
Okay.
Maybe even 4. Had never seen a phone like either one of those.
Right. Those were really cool.
Right. And he picked up the BlackBerry and went, what is this? A calculator? He didn't know. And then when he saw the flip phone, it was the coolest thing.
Okay. Very good.
He'd never seen anything like that. And he asked his mom, weeks, months, can we get one of those things that Miss Sarah has?
Right.
And I think she probably did look pretty hard to find something. It was just a crappy
little
probably a cell phone that I lost the charger to or something that you could never use again. But that was he'd walk in, okay, where's my thing?
Sit down, have to have it as you start. I think that it is kind of we can also relate it to like taking a class and knowing which section of the classroom you prefer to sit in.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
what kind, where do you sit in a classroom?
Okay. depends on the class. If I like the class, I will totally sit up front with no problem at all. Oh. If I'm in a lecture or a continuing education oh no, I am in like the back, like the back corner.
I am always back on the edge, close to a door if possible.
Get me out of here.
Yeah. But not that I'm trying to get out, but that I want, in case I need like more room on the aisle or...
I think that's why I do it during CEs. They're usually long. And I know my attention span, sometimes for me to refocus, I just need to get up and take a break. So I'm more likely to sit in the back where no one will see if I walk out and come back in, or not be bothered at least.
Yeah. But, I will say movie theater different.
Oh yeah. Very different.
I'm kind of dead center.
Yep. Me too.
Middle, like...
Middle.
And if it's... sitting farther back doesn't bother me as much as sitting too close.
Oh, too close really bothers me.
It's like you don't get to take in the whole movie.
Right.
Yeah. So
I had to watch.
Good point. I hadn't thought of like where you sit.
Spider-Man: Homecoming, right up front, because my boys really wanted to go, and we sat like second row. I felt like car sick by the time we went, like motion sickness. I was like, whoa! And then we watched it again at home like a year later, and I was like, oh, this is actually a decent movie.
Yeah. Huh. That's a good example. Yeah. Where you sit somewhere. So I think when this might impact clients or supervisees when they're choosing a supervisor or a counselor.
Yeah, I think so.
That they choose a thing that feels comfortable. So some of that you can't manage. It just is.
It just is. Right. It's a good fit or a not good fit.
Okay, the next point in the article was that the reason pumpkin spice is so popular, such a big thing, is the idea that it is limited edition.
Right. Great marketing.
So it's only around for a little bit. Do you think, what are some ways where you're impacted in that way that you think, oh, it's limited edition, got to get it?
I think a couple of different things, actually, when we're talking about this. I think one thing, if like you're trying to get registered for a class or continuing education, and they're like, oh, register by Friday and you get the early bird special, right? Like that's just a monetary thing.
Yeah.
But I also think if it's like, oh, I'm only taking new supervisees until, a certain
or
time,
clients right?
until a certain time point, then it's also maybe a good pull.
So maybe like if someone called and left they're saying like, I want a new appointment,
right? Either
for supervision or counseling. And you answer, okay, well, I've only got these 2 times that they might react and go, okay, well, I'll take what you've got, thinking I got to grab it because it's the only thing left. Yeah.
Right.
I hadn't thought of that. So maybe in some ways, like it's about making yourself less available a little bit. That if you did the opposite, if you got a phone call for somebody new and you said, pick a time, I have nothing going on.
What does that sound like?
Yeah, that doesn't, right. And not as positive. Right. So yeah,
that's true.
So can some of those things that we're drawn to, you can't manage, but do we as supervisors or counselors manage the idea of limited edition?
Probably more so. I think more of like have an idea on it. And I don't even know that I do it necessarily with like too much thought about it. But if, like you said, I'm not going to tell a client that I actually have a 2:00 today, I can see you. Like, right. Yeah. That probably doesn't fit my day anyway, but that doesn't sound like something that would really be, but I don't know that I give it thought for that reason. You know what I mean? Like,
you're not intentionally doing it, but you could.
Right.
I think that I tell my supervisees not to say, pick a time. Yeah, I have no clients. Right. So anytime you want, I tell them not to say that. What about the opposite? Have you ever chosen something because you felt like limited edition, I got to grab it. And then when you had whatever the thing was, you maybe had some buyer's remorse. Like it really wasn't that good or that exciting or special, but you snapped it up because maybe this is your only chance.
What came to mind as you were talking was a class that I took one time. It was a really hard class to get into and people would fight over it. So I was like, I am a senior. I have this opportunity to like get this class. And this is when like signing up for online class, like that was like new.
Right. Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to get it. And I got into this class and everyone talked about how awesome this professor was. Yeah. And I absolutely could not handle her. I was like, oh my gosh, I got up early. Yeah. I literally sat on my computer like a nut trying to get like exactly what I, and got into that class. And I was like, bummer. Like, it's not what I wanted.
This reminds me, so I mean, I'm from Texas, but I went to school in Florida. So there are a handful of years that I lived in Florida. And the first year I was there, the first hurricane season.
Oh, right.
We had so many tropical storms. Like every weekend,
right,
another tropical storm was rolling in. And there was one weekend where, at least in, from my experience so far, this was the most imminent.
Right. This one's big.
We really were going to have a lot of impact, and people acted like that.
Right.
People were responding as though this one's going to be serious. And the friends that I had made said, we're going to go to this friend's house that's, farther inland, I think maybe an hour or two inland. Okay. And so we won't completely miss the storm, but we'll be far safer because we're farther from the water. And so, okay, I'm going with you guys. And they said, so we're going to drive over there. Once we get there, we're going to all go to the grocery store because there's a lot of us and we might need to plan for a handful of days.
Right.
Oh, days, not just a couple meals. So we all get to the house. We all then turn around and we're going to go to Walmart and buy some food for a couple of days. Walmart was like a zombie apocalypse. It absolutely was, because, oh my goodness, you have to get it now, kind of attitude. And we had, we walk in and realize what we've walked into, how crazy this is. And there's an employee, like Walmart employee, and he's got a shopping cart, and it is full to mounded with different kinds of loaves of bread. Oh, like just every kind of bread or French bread or just whatever. I'm sure it's like, which to also signified, this is kind of it.
Right. This is what we've got.
This is what we got. So this, young kid is like pushing the shopping cart full of bread, and literally people swarmed him and grabbed everything as fast as they could out of the cart and grabbed it. And my friend, he jumped in there and grabbed some bread, and he comes back and he's got a baguette that's broken and a bag of bagels. And he went, I did it.
And you're like, oh, okay.
This is wild. This is crazy. Just because it felt like, here's our chance. We've got to
only opportunity.
Yeah. And thinking about what we're talking about, is it really worth it every time? For the life of me, I can't remember if we ate the baguette and the bagels. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But we felt like you had to get it. Hurry.
Right. Hurry up. Hurry.
Yeah. So the last point in the article is that some of this decision about loving pumpkin spice is about nostalgia.
Right.
So how much of the decisions that our clients make, our supervisees make, is about the familiar or a positive memory or some kind of nostalgia.
Right. I think that often it is something that's subconscious that we don't always do kind of overtly. Like it's more something that we're drawn to it, right? Like we're drawn to something. First example in my brain right now is I've already had my pumpkin spice, which is kind of a rule breaker for me. I usually wait till it's cold, but I had it a couple weeks ago only because there was a cold option. Oh, like pumpkin spice launched and whenever it
iced.
And I was like, oh, I've never had it iced. I will try it. It was almost like, but it was the draw to it was like, and this means it's going to be fall soon because our summer has been dreadful.
So long. Right. And hot.
Right. So, I think that's a little bit of like, it's going to symbolize that it means something good.
So maybe, because school has started. So I had some college student clients that have moved on, and I have a supervisee that is about to wrap up and move on. That maybe the way that they say goodbye or end things has some nostalgia in it. That the way they want to say goodbye or like what they take from that goodbye holds some meaning to them. Absolutely. That they either maybe play it up or play it down, depending on how they're feeling about saying goodbye.
At my old office out front, then there was like landscaping rock, like those white rocks. And I had two clients that I then saw like a couple of years later came to this office. And they both admitted that they had taken white rocks off the landscaping their last time they were there. And I was like, how funny is that? And these were teenagers. These weren't little kids. But I was like, how funny that like there was something to them that they needed.
I can imagine maybe like a supervisee that you've known for a long time and maybe that's had supervisees prior to you. At the end, they're expecting or waiting for something that is similar to their the last time. That maybe, I mean, if I had a supervisor that in some way did something for a goodbye,
right,
or it felt like a conclusion for the supervisee in some way, that my supervisee would then be looking for, oh, but we didn't.
Right. Weren't we supposed to get coffee and say goodbye? Or weren't we supposed to do something?
Aren't you going to gift me like a painted rock? Or I don't know, like something that signifies like the end to them.
If that's what you've always done.
Right. And maybe like with the school year starting or ending, that clients might feel the same way. That they're looking for some kind of nostalgic ending or beginning, or kind of like what they've done before that feels familiar.
Absolutely.
What happens if you don't give them that?
Right.
Maybe because you didn't know.
You didn't know. That's just their expectation that went unspoken. Right. It's a sad
Have you ever had a supervisee or counseling client like mention that or point that out?
Oh, I did have one ask for closing paperwork. And I went, what? And they're like, yeah, don't we have to like write, don't we have to sign off that I finished, it was a client, that I finished my goals and like what they were, don't we like sign a paper?
Oh, like they wanted an end of summer
like a
reading club certificate.
I was like, oh, I'm like, we can do that. I'll make it happen for our next session. Like I was like, yes, we can do that.
That kind of makes me think, I wonder how old they were the last time they wrapped up. If it was
that
like
was something important.
Kindergarten, that they ended with some kind of certificate.
They needed kind of like something else.
That's kind of cute.
I met my goal. I did it.
Yeah. I think I might do that for my supervisee, even though they actually get something like that that's really important and valuable. But what if I did have like a certificate that's like shaped like an apple or something?
Right, something
and it's like you did it.
I like it.
Kind of fun.
I like it.
I think I'm going to do it for her.
Yep.
She had the one that I'm thinking about wrapping up with soon has a kindergartner.
Yep, that probably is perfect.
And so I think she'd think it was cute.
Yep.
Even if it's not nostalgic for her, she'd still
break out the markers, make it happen.
Yeah. So nostalgia is some of the reason that we choose certain things over and over.
Absolutely.
So sometimes we're drawn to things. Sometimes it's because it's limited edition and we've got to take advantage while we can. And sometimes it just holds meaning or has nice memories attached to it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. I do feel like with our kind of cooler, a little bit rainy weather, I might need to go get a pumpkin spice.
I think you should go give it a try.
Thanks today for listening to Supervision with a Vision. Heather and I would love to hear about some of your favorite fall time memories or traditions, and if or how you bring those into counseling and supervision.